All right, so I'm with Peter, and we're in day 2, and we'll do a little success story video after this. But what we're going to do today is something that's great for entrepreneurs and everybody else that has stuff going on and wants to get a bigger life. And so we're going to go do a process. And I suggest, if you want to go and put yourself in the seat as if you're getting the session and just follow along and then notice what's different for you. So good to see you, Peter.
Good to see you too.
Awesome. So what, if something were done for you today, what would you like to change?
Yeah, so there's this memory of basically a year ago it happened. I had one of my biggest, a big business fail where I lost money, I lost confidence, and just made me feel like the ultimate, a real failure sort of thing. So ever since, I don't know, I've just become so afraid of failure, rejection again, that it's been spiraling in different areas of my life, selling life insurance, earning commissions, following through on my business, where writing my book. I finished writing the first draft of the book, and then my mind starts telling me are you really going to do this? Feeling like an imposter, you're not good enough, you're just going to fail again, you're going to get rejected, no one's going to like this book. Who are you kidding? People already know this stuff, different things like that. So where those failures just I don't know, they just got so far in my body that in everything I do, it just reminds me of it. Every time I gain momentum, doing awesome, then I'll just somehow that comes up and then just start self-sabotaging myself and running this self-defeating pattern basically.
Okay, and let's can we go really deep with it for a moment and to clear this thing out?
Okay.
So think about the worst case scenario if it happened again, and it happened even just as bad or worse. So for the next moment, just think about the worst case scenario. And tell me when you have that in your imagination, if it all failed, including loved ones doing whatever they would do, and how the money would go, and people seeing it, and just tell me when you've got that in your awareness. Feel it? Are you feeling it pretty strongly now?
It's coming on a little stronger.
Okay. What would be the worst part if it all failed? And do you feel that? You kind of touched upon that now?
Still trying to imagine it.
Pretty good. Let's check in for a moment and start, because it feels like you got it. Tell me when you're ready. Tell me when you feel like, yeah, that would be the worst of the worst. That would be the worst of the worst if it all failed again.
Okay.
A little bit differently, because I feel like it's slightly different for you. So imagine it's you're chipping away at it, but it's just taking a long time and there's a lot of roadblocks, and it just keeps being harder than it should be. Yeah. And so can you imagine that kind of the way it's going, like procrastination, like you were talking about before, like a lot of imposter syndrome, like who are you to do it? They already know it, they can Google it, and you're just chipping away at it. Okay, and now let that go for a moment. And here's the process I want you to do. Go inside your body and tell me what's happening in your body right now.
So right before you said that, I was feeling some pain right in here.
Okay.
That has subsided a little bit, but I have noticed even today earlier, as I know we were going to talk about it, like as I would think about it, I would feel that pain right in here.
Okay.
And
right
then
now,
as I would stop, then it would go away.
okay, and so right now, do you have anything happening in your body that you notice?
Not much. I had it, but it went.
Okay, and it can happen that fast. It can happen that fast. It can, these things, even if they're long-standing, even if they're really traumatic, it doesn't mean they need to take a long time. Some of the biggest stuff, that's lifelong stuff, can go away in an instant. And some of the stuff that's just a mild nagging thing might take a couple of sessions or more, or might take a few weeks. But a lot of times the big stuff happens that quick. So let's just check in. So when you think about doing this project with your book and everything you want to get out to the world, and you've got the how to do it, you know how to do, you've got the skills to do it, but this thing that happened a year ago and it might happen again, and will it happen again? When you think of it right now, does it bring up any angst in your body? Or does it bring up any angst in your mind? Just right now.
Not as much as we're speaking right now, but I know throughout the past week it has 100%.
Okay, and so right now in this moment, where is it in your body?
There's still just a little bit right in there, but not. Our last call that we had like 2 weeks ago or whatever, it hasn't been as hard, like forceful or
You're doing great. So that last little bit of physicalness, let's just go into that. So just go into your body and notice what's happening in that last little bit. And kind of like you're listening to a conversation that's far away, you kind of lean into it. In the same way, just with your attention, lean into that feeling and just kind of notice where it is right now, even if it's just a little bit. We want to dismantle every bit of this thing. And the way out is through this thing. So just stay with your physical body, even if it's just a little. Great. Inside your body, stay out of your head, stay out of thoughts, stay in your physical body, what's happening in your body. We'll try to talk you out of it. It'll say, oh, it's pretty much gone, leave it alone. And it's because it's dismantling the ego. So you're just going to notice what you notice.
Yeah, so I just feel like a little bit of pain or something like in here.
Awesome.
Just a little bit, like.
Yeah. So just stay with that.
Area.
So keep your attention, your focus. Yeah, like an athlete, keeping their attention on something. Keep your attention on that physical sensation and just keep following it. Notice where the most intense part is, even if it's just a little, and then notice where it moves to or where it stays or what it's doing. Get curious about the characteristics of the physical sensation. Not trying to make sense of it, not trying to figure it out, not trying to judge it, just noticing the physical sensation, what's happening in your body right now. Stay with that. That's right.
feeling it in here more.
Feeling it where?
Right in here.
Okay, keep on it. You're doing great. How's your focus? Like, are you able to stay out of thoughts and just kind of stay with your physical sensation?
Let me try putting my headphones in quick.
Okay.
So I could block out some background noise.
Yeah, so just notice physical sensation, and it feels like you're able to focus on the physical sensation. Are you doing, you feel like your focus is pretty dialed in on the physical, what's happening in your body?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, great. Just stay on it. I'll talk a little bit while you just keep your focus on there, just because I can see what's happening. So it happened a year ago. Sounds awful for sure. But the thing is, because it happened, that obstacle, now by you going there and feeling the physical sensation of whatever that is, yeah, you'll be at another level that you wouldn't even have been able to get to if it hadn't been for that obstacle, that problem a year ago. Because whatever that is activated something in you, and we don't even have to need to know. We don't have to know, like, did this come from childhood? Was this your dad or your mom or some other kind of pattern? We don't need to know. Your body is showing us exactly where it is. And so now it's up for you because you've taken the chance, you've taken the risk, you're an entrepreneur, you're bringing your stuff to the marketplace, you're putting yourself out there. And so it pushes some buttons. And then what you do is just go inside like you're doing and notice what's happening right now, the physical sensation, and stay with that. That's right. That's right. You're doing great. That's right. Most intense part of the most intense part, even if it's just a little bit. And in that part, as if you could put a little finger pointed right to it. And you, if you want, if it keeps your focus better, you can point to it with your finger. Or if it's better just to do it with your intention, just to keep your focus on the most intense part of the most intense part.
Right in here.
Right there. Great. We're going to stay here. Just hang out with it.
It's kind of like down in here too, a little bit.
You're doing great. Just keep with it. This part of the most intense part. Notice the quality of the sensation. Is it throbbing or pressure or twisting or, in fact, what is it doing there?
It's like on and off.
Notice if it's a frequency that's, keeps going rhythmic, or if it changes frequency or amplitude. So the most intense part of that on is. Notice what's there when it's not on. There you go. Tension, as if you have a little fingernail that you could touch it. You could do it with in your mind's eye, or you could do it touching your skin, but like you have a little fingernail and touch the most intense part. as if it's a little rose that's not opened, and you can get your fingernail into the seam to go right to the most intense part of the most intense part. That's right. And the most intense part of the most intense part, just drop a drop of love in that. Not to try to change it, just to drop it right there. And notice what's happening in your body, staying out of your head, staying out of your mind, staying out of your body. Doing great. That's right. What's happening in your body right now?
Don't feel much of pain.
So just keep your attention where it was. I'm real curious of what is there now.
I don't feel much.
Now think about your business project now and your book and getting your work out to the world and doing all the skills and strategies and the copy and the funnels and the stories and having it all set up to reach the people that are your avatar, your people. When you think of doing all of that and having it on a schedule and getting it all done by a certain time, how does it feel right now in this moment? Does it bring up anything?
Just like a little couple spots of pain, like here and there, but not much.
Okay.
And maybe just a slight thought of
Scan your body and see if any of that is doing anything right now.
yeah, so just a little bit of pain in here.
Okay, just go there. You're doing great. Every once in a while, you might see me take a big breath or a yawn. It's an instant miracle technique. It just comes through. Another question. When you do all that traveling and you do it for not a lot of money and you're doing it when, there's people, I met somebody a long time ago at Fairhaven Park or over by Fairhaven Bookstore here in Bellingham. And he was in his like 70s or so, and he was with his grandkids. And he had worked his whole life as a CPA with a business, and he like worked. It is so weird. I look, it's the middle of the work day, like a Tuesday afternoon, and there's all these able-bodied young people just walking around like they have nothing to do. And I just don't understand it. And it's like, isn't that funny? So my question is, when you do all that traveling and you're just kicking back and you're just kind of kicking back and there's all these people doing this work and the world's going on and you're like in some cool place just doing what you do, does it bring up any angst in you? Do you ever kind of get any kind of like, oh my God, look at what I'm doing?
Not really any angst, just like feeling alive, like happiness.
So you get happiness. Okay. If somebody had something like that, like, so, okay, let me ask you a question. When you're just hanging around and you're just hanging around and you don't have to do anything, what is that like? What is that like? Like you're in some beautiful spot. You're not, you figured out the money thing for your people to like travel the world and live like that. When you're living like that, does it, what's it like?
Just super fulfilling. Like I'm smiling ear to ear. My face just lights up, just feel like great inside and just think, wow, this is like amazing. Like, look at these views. Like I'm so grateful, blessed, things like that.
Somebody was used to like the work ethic thing and they had some angst about taking time off. What would you tell them?
Um,
Like they didn't want to travel, but they take some time off and they're just like, I got to get back to my business. Like you can see them doing Facebook lives and it's like, you're supposed to be on vacation, dude. And you're working. It's like, what are you doing?
well, I actually told one of my friends something like that a little while ago because he was feeling just super stressed from his business, like wasn't going too well, and he just was working so hard that he just needed to get away with his family and like refresh his mind. So I kind of just told him like, go do it, like get that time off, you know, try to stay in momentum. So just do something small for your business, you know, while you are away. Just spend a little bit of time on your business so you're not like anxious, I'm not doing anything, you're not losing that momentum, but just go out and just relax and rejuvenate sort of thing, and you know, spend that time with your family.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, so go back to you hanging out now in your mind's eye. You're kicking back. You figured this part out, how to travel the world and just live like that. And so feel that. And then now that you feel, okay, there's how you are, that's how your day's going, that's how your weeks are going. And you've got this book and it's a bestseller and changing people's lives. Maybe there's even a section here with this process so that you're welcome to use it so that people that are full of angst about getting away from their business can just let go. But you're kicking back and having that ear to ear grin. Feel that. Imagine the kind of money that your book is making and your work is making and the people you're impacting and all these people traveling the world living how they want to live. And when you think of that life, does it bring up anything in your body? Go inside and see what happens in your body.
Yeah, so just a little bit in here.
Okay, so go there. So that perfect. So this is the other way to use this. Your desired outcome, and now go inside and just notice that. So you would think, smiling ear to ear, it feels great, that it would be nothing but just like pure goodness in the body. But whatever that is something that once cleared, once noticed, once acknowledged and experienced, it clears, and whatever that was is no longer an obstacle. It's the way. So just go inside and just hang out with whatever that is. That's right. That's right. And notice where it is. Notice what's happening there. Stay out of your head. Stay out of thoughts. Stay in your body. That's right. Notice where the most intense part is. Notice where the most intense part of the most intense part is. Keep your attention right there and notice what it's doing there, like what's happening right there. And it might change. It might be expected or unexpected. It might move. It might stay the same. It might just go away. It might come back. Just keep your attention on whatever it's doing right now. That's right. That's right. Notice any thoughts come up and then just gently leave them and then go back in your body. And in this moment, what's happening in your body?
A little bit of pain moving. Kind of moves back and back, and then kind of ends up in there.
Well, just stay with it. You're doing great. You're doing great. Wherever it is, that's where your attention is. And wherever it is, you're noticing what's happening right there in the moment. Give a thought, you just gently bring your attention back to what's happening in your body.
I'm not feeling much.
So think about that ear to ear grin
A
kind
little
of
bit right there.
feel there. Okay, stay there. What's it what's it like to does it feel what's it like to have your day for yourself in some cool place that you traveled to? What's that like?
Just awesome. Like loving to explore. I mean, right now I'm thinking about being in the main square where my girlfriend lives in Peru, and there's these beautiful yellow buildings, and it's just like so different, and it just gives you like a different sensation, and like it's not normal. It's just something different that like you haven't experienced in a while. So it's like I don't know how to describe the feeling.
I can feel it. It sounds awesome. So now go inside your body and let me know what's happening in your body right now. What's happening in your body right now?
Yeah, it's just lingering a little bit in here.
Okay, stay there. And in that lingering spot, what's the sensation like? What's happening in there?
Just like a little bit of pain.
Okay, go to the most intense part of that little bit. And in that spot, just notice what's happening in that spot. Excellent. That's right. That's right. What's happening in your body right now?
It's coming and going. It'll just go away and then come up in like a little spot and then go away.
Okay, awesome. Just keep on it. You're doing great. Okay. So I feel called to ask you, so your girlfriend in Peru, is that a pretty serious girlfriend thing? Like, is that like, oh, this is the one?
Yeah, I mean, we've been uh, going out for like a year and a half maybe, and like the feelings are on and off. Like whenever we're together, like everything's perfect. And then like when we haven't seen each other in 6 months, so it's kind of been like stressful, like just wanting to be together. So it gets tougher just because you're not together. You can't like be in their presence or like
Yeah.
anything like that. Like have those moments together.
Okay. Now go inside your body and check in and let me know what's happening in your body now.
Not much, just slight pain like here and there, but it'll just come quick and go.
Okay. Okay. So this is your until next time. We're gonna keep going right now, but I want to check in with your with what you think of this. Like to you're working on your business and a little angst comes up or procrastination or it's like and you think of something and then you just go inside and just notice where it is, even if it's only for a few seconds. And then you're going along and you think about your girlfriend and then it's like you go inside and notice what's happening. And then you go inside, you're doing a life insurance call and something comes up, it's like brings up a little like stuff. You go inside your body and just notice what you're noticing. So throughout the day, just every so often, just getting in a habit of like just noticing what you're noticing in your body, no matter what comes up. And then once a day, you just either take these videos and audio so you can kind of keep it on track. In fact, I'll send you a couple of audios so the videos so that you can just have a shorter version of like what's happening in your body right now that you can then press again. And then you can also do it without the recording, but spend 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 or 30 minutes once a day, your meditation time to think about your business, think about what's going on with your business, think about what's in the way of getting it done, think about being with your girlfriend, think about anything like that. And then think about your desired outcome, and then go inside your body and the words are what's happening in your body right now. And just make that a practice like for 5 minutes a day, 15 minutes, 30 minutes, whatever you want to dedicate to it. But throughout the day, little bits. How does that sound?
Yeah, that sounds good.
It's really good. Now, I've got another question. What we're doing is we're noticing where the buttons are. And I'm just pushing the button and seeing, does this push anything? Does this push your button? And because if it pushes a button, then it indicates something in you that we can take a look at. And you can then just go, oh, this one pushes my buttons. Like when somebody cuts me off in traffic, it really rages me. Like, oh, well, that's a thing. So then you go and you feel it. Or your girlfriend's mom, it's like, maybe she bugs you and it's like, oh, that's a thing. So you just go and like, okay, let me notice that. So these things that bug us, there's a stack behind that. Like there's a whole bunch of stuff that's connected to it. So it's like, and we may or may not know the stuff that's connected to it. It could be all sorts of stuff. An old girlfriend and her mom, or your own mom, or your sister, who knows the stack. But if something bugs you, it's like, oh, there it is. That's the first window. And there's a whole stack behind it. So now that pushed my button. What's happening in my body? And you just stay with it. And this turns you into like, you're in the flow and the universe is showing you the next obstacle, which is really the next stepping stone or the next doorway into your transformation. And you know it's that because it's a problem. It's like,
right.
You think it's like, wow, this is a problem. This isn't what's helping me. It's like, oh no, it is. So it's like that whole obstacle is the way thing is actually very tangible and accessible. It's like if there's a button that pushes something in you, wow, stack behind that. Let me go hang out there and just notice that and be with that. So that's your assignment, is just like whatever pushes your buttons, that's your spiritual practice. Is like once a day you go, okay, that, or, you know, being in Peru in the square, oh, that feels so good. Now what's happening? Oh, that's weird. There's an angst in my body right there, even though I'm thinking of something wonderful. And so you just hang out with that. And so whether it's thinking something good or thinking something that's a problem, what's happening in your body, and you just hang out with it. and your consciousness is, your awareness is like, it's consciousness. It's like spirit. It's like that infinite looking right at it. And it's like my Qigong master says, where your mind goes, energy flows. So you're like looking at it, but you're not trying to fix it. You're just noticing it and hanging out with it. And it unravels itself. It's like, wow, everybody's looking at me. Finally, thank you. Let me tell my story. And then, and it's like, it's just this feeling, but that little spot is going, hey man, I get to like express myself fully. And then when it's totally done, it's done. And all the stack behind that disappears. So then you'll notice synchronicity and all sorts of stuff in your life show up, and people that used to bug you, it's like, that doesn't bug me anymore. Are they still doing the same thing? They're still doing the same thing. It doesn't bug me anymore. So it's like, it starts to change things, like, you know, your business will start to flow and people will come into your life in a more synchronous way, like you and me together. This has been magic. So
Yeah.
yeah. And so now next step that I see, I just have to ask this. So I'm going to ask it like this. Can a family travel and live the way you're talking about? If they're an entrepreneurial family? Like the way you travel and in the travel world, and you know how to get things done, to be anywhere in the world and go play.
I mean, yeah, of course.
Can they? Do you see, I feel like asking you, you don't have to answer, but you and your girlfriend, is that a possibility? Like you doing this as a family? Is this a thing that happens for the next 20, 30 years with you cruising around? Or is this like, nope, we're going to live in
I mean, we've talked about it, so some of that stuff, there's not so much clarity behind. Where she wants to do it and I want to do it too, and also her career. So like, I don't want to hold her back from her career in architecture. So it depends on if she finds online work, or if she ends up getting a job, or
okay.
it could depend on multiple things. Like if my book launch is amazing and that could support us both and she doesn't have to work, then of course. So it's
okay. So now go inside your body and let me know what's happening in your body.
there's just a couple spurts of pain like here and there, but they'll like come and go.
Okay, just kind of hang out there. So this is when it makes it a little more interesting, because you have to kind of keep your attention really focused. Just notice where they come and when they go and where they go and where they come, and hang out there for a bit. Everything Peter wants. That's right.
Yeah, so it was hanging out in there, it's gone, and I'll feel it a little there, but then I'll go.
Okay, and when you think about your business right now and getting everything done to get this thing launched in a big, cool way, how does it feel right now?
Just a little slight pain here and there, but not as much as it used to be.
Okay, so this is going to be your assignment, just to like, you know, when you're about to do something, especially if you're not doing it, or it's like you have some trepidation about doing it, or like, oh, whatever happens, just go in and spend a minute or two feeling it, and then once a day, go spend a concentrated amount of time doing it. It might take just a minute, or it might take 3 or 4 minutes, or it might take 30 minutes, but at some point it's going to be like, I don't feel it, and then it'll be like you just had, where it's like not a lot of angst when you think about your business, and it'll more synchronicity stuff will show up. So it'll be really cool to hear what happens.
Yeah, definitely. No, I definitely will.
Okay, cool. Now, and there's more stuff to do, so I want to do more with you down soon. But, there's ways to use this in other more in very cool ways to get things done. So I'll show you that, but like I don't want to show you too much. So basically, right now it's too much in one moment. So it's whatever pushes your button, that's what you go notice what happens in your body. Or if you want to, your girlfriend in Peru in the square, and then your book launching, everything big, then go in and feel what happens in your body with that. So whether it's good or whether it's your desired outcome, both good, the bad, or the ugly. And
Right.
you feel it in your body, and that's your spiritual practice until next time.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Sounds good.
Yeah. So what I think I'm going to do is let me do it like this first. How about we just keep it going and just tell us what you noticed, and then I'll yeah, let's no, let's do it this way. Yeah, tell me a little bit about how that was for you. Let's do a little bit right now, and then we'll do a re-record of just a success thing.
Yeah. So from the first session to now, like, there's definitely, at least in the moment, for sure, a lot less angst, a lot less pain, different things like that. Like last time we did it, it was really intense, to where when we did it, it brought back moments of when I was in the moment feeling it, and it felt like it was happening again. And now I didn't even feel that near as, not even close to as much as last time. So like you're saying, I probably feel like now that I'm noticing that more, and just being inside my body, like recognizing it, that it's just coming and going like a lot quicker. Like it's basically going away. So today it definitely, I mean, it felt better. Like last time, you literally had me on my knees puking, like feeling so much pain. I was like, and today it's like, feels a lot more like freer, like definitely not even close to being as intense. So.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Peter. We'll definitely do more. I'm going to hit stop the recording.